everyone. I'm your host, Jaime Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local. And I want you to meet a woman who is amping up the style here in Arizona, and she came a long way to do so. Her name is Afi Afi Like Taffy is the name of her business. Afi, thank you so much for being with us.
Cheers for having me, Jaime. Good to see you again.
Well, I already said you came a long way to Arizona. We can hear that beautiful accent. Tell me a little bit about where you grew up and how you got to Arizona.
Thank you kindly for asking. So yeah, I was born in West Africa, Nigeria. I lived there till I was 8, and then I went to university and school in England. So I was like raised in London, and I fell in love and married an American man. And my husband and I have lived here in Scottsdale for over 16 years.
Okay, you breezed over that. You fell in love with a what?
An American man.
An American man.
Yes.
And not only American man, but an Arizona guy. Tell me, what was he doing in London? And the timeline right there kind of matched up well, too.
Oh, definitely. So I was just about to graduate from university in Leicestershire, which is like West Midlands in England. And he had British friends who went to ASU. So he wanted to go visit them because he'd gone to U of A. So the whole thing is that he went to Europe, met me on his first week in England in general, and we fell in lust and then love.
Oh. And now, how long have you been married?
16 years.
16 years.
Yes, I know. 16 long years, but amazing years as well. Whenever we have our anniversary, I'm always like, oh, it feels like 12. So I think that's a good thing.
Well, congratulations on love and marriage and happiness across the sea, I suppose.
Definitely.
So when you came to Arizona, you had a career in styling before, right?
No, I actually didn't. I actually have my sense of style from my father because he's a fashion icon in Africa. But I was actually...
Wait, hold on. He was a fashion icon?
Yes. My dad is very well known in like the fashion industry in Nigeria. He's a businessman, international businessman, and he always dresses, to the nines. He gets customized suiting. So that's what he's known for, like his sharp suits. So whenever he comes here, we get the compliments and everyone thinks he's my husband. And I'm like, no, that's my dad. Yeah.
Oh, the inspiration.
So, yeah, definitely. So I would go with him to ateliers to see him like select like different fabrics, patterns, textures. And at such a young age, that was like literally what like drove me to like pay attention. And also I would style my brothers and sisters as well. So, it wasn't something that I didn't even think I could have a career from, only because in England it's so competitive. But coming here to America, there's so much opportunity, and it is really the land of dreams because, put in the work. I worked with my husband for a while. I did marketing for his company, and then I created, my own kind of like styling. I went to a luxury retailer, did that for 10 years, and then freed myself and then created Afi Like Taffy styling.
And freed yourself kind of during the pandemic, right? Were you furloughed?
Literally. I was furloughed for 3 months. Thank you for asking. And it was like the most intense because I'd gotten to where I wanted to be, where I was doing luxury retail. I'd had so many different opportunities. I'd risen as much as I could, but I knew that it was time to leave, and I didn't really know how because I was comfortable. I was scared, and change is very scary. But I created a business plan. I reached out to my family, my clients, and asked a lot of them to come with me. And a lot of them said no, because obviously everyone was like, the world is ending. What are you going to do? Right. So therefore, I just, after the world opened back up, I started like hitting the ground running, going to networking events. And actually, I started to do TV segments. And that's literally how I've been building my business since.
Oh, wow. Well, we love seeing you on TV. It's always fun to interview you. And you're always dressed immaculately.
Thank you so much.
So you know what you're doing when it comes to style. And it's an interesting time you mentioned during the pandemic that you made your jump, because that was kind of the land of the Lululemon. Everyone was, there was the joke about kind of the business on top and your jammies on the bottom. How were you able to kind of manipulate that or maybe utilize that time to build?
Yes, social media, everyone was online because we were all alone together. So I would create style videos, show people how to put pieces together and just kind of, I think, refurbish or like reinvent like the sense of styling. And also I was just trying to like be fun with it and make funny like dance moves and, the transitional things through TikTok. So I think that even though we were all at home, we all wanted to look glamorous. Yeah. We all wanted to go out and, that's what I was just showing them, not to lose that hope or that side of things.
Yeah. I mean, we were still posting. You're right. So
yes.
we were still posting, yes, and the time that we could be maskless was when we were at home and could wear something fabulous. I remember I had this sequin dress that I put on for New Year's Eve, and my girlfriend said, "I can't believe you went out on New Year's Eve." I didn't go out on New Year's Eve. I put the dress on, I posted it, and then I went back to bed. But I looked fabulous for that one post, you know. And style does make you feel something when you're wearing that outfit that just kills.
Yes.
You are just amplified. Tell me about that.
Thank you. Well, you know, I'm all about, you know, helping people look and feel their best selves. And what better way to do it myself? You know, I've always loved like showing up and showing out, and also just like representing who I am as a person. And, you know, from my culture of like Nigeria, and our culture is very immersed in color. So I love the patterns, and also I just love the compliments, because who doesn't want to be admired and to look good and feel good, especially like coming from where my dad is. You know, whenever he comes to visit, I have to represent. I have to go another level.
Oh my!
Because he doesn't mess around.
Please post
yes.
when Papa is in town. Yes. I want to just be in the restaurant and watch the heads turn as you all walk through. What does he think about you kind of following in his footsteps of style, of a fashion icon?
Thank you. He's so flabbergasted by it. He can't believe that I'm doing this, first of all, because again, you know, America, there's so much opportunity here, but he's so proud, and he tells me all the time. In fact, he was just here in January, and I was just featured in Phoenix magazine, and in his hotel room at the Scottsdale Prentice, he actually had the magazine on the table. So I opened it up and showed him, and he was just looking at the magazine, looking up at me, like back and forth. He was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, he's so proud, and he tells me all the time.
I mean, I could imagine him just crying. Yes. Brings tears to my eyes when that moment happens, that you are not only succeeding and being happy in following your career, but then being recognized by media, by our local news station, by Phoenix Magazine, that I hold in high regard as well. So talk to me a little bit about, when it comes to style, you weren't formally trained, right? It was a lot of stuff that you learned on the job.
Oh, most definitely, yes. And with the job that I was at, luxury retailing, we went through a 3-step program back in the day. And this was like 10 years ago. And they basically taught you how to like clientele, how to like reach out to clients and style and just put looks together. And it's something that I've learned over time, but it's been so honed in that it's so natural to me now. So I just love the fact that I got to learn that, and I got to create my own business and create a lifestyle for myself that I don't think I could have done anywhere else.
And when you talk about styling, you think about what looks good on a body or where it looks good in colors. Are you doing color theory?
Oh, most definitely, yes. So the color analysis. So it's all about, you know, just like cool tones, warm tones, what looks best on like different like body shapes as well, you know, so I'm taking that all into account, as well as your coloring, because, you know, you're looking at the cheekbones, the eyes, and the actual like skin tone itself, and then just basically just matching that up. And also just, I like to push people to do a bit of color as well.
You love the color.
I love color, yes. I think it just is so vibrant. It brings out such a highlight to someone, and also it's a happy, and you know, coming from where I am in Africa, that's like just what we like tend to celebrate is just life and just vibrancy and just all the things.
Yeah, you know, I always love St. Patrick's Day because I feel like people don't wear green enough. Yes. It's such a beautiful color, and I feel like folks always look so good in it. And you're in a shade of green today. Can you, for the folks who are listening, can you describe what you are wearing for us today?
Sure. So I'm wearing kind of like a lime green, like a neon green printed dress, because I know for TV we're not meant to wear prints, but I think podcast recording we can.
Thank you. Yes, break the rules.
Definitely, I love it. So yeah, so this is like a lovely, like it's almost like a buttoned front dress. So I could wear it as is, or I can actually unbutton it and wear it with like some denim and like a bodysuit. But it's very vibrant, very colorful, very on trend, and it's got lots of patterns and all the spring detailing that you need.
You did the gold jewelry.
Yes, always.
And then you have a lot of bangles.
Definitely. So the gold is because I am warm toned, so I'm more like a spring autumn when it comes to like the color analysis. So gold looks really good with my skin tone. So therefore I just love to add accessories to kind of elevate, you know, the look. And that's what I feel like, even though you can wear the most amazing outfit, but if you don't add accessories, you're not elevated enough.
Afi, how much do you follow the trends versus going with a signature style?
Honestly, it's a mixed bag. Yeah, I tend to do a little bit of both because I like the classic element because that never goes out of style. So I invest in good pieces that are a little bit more higher end. But then obviously the trends, sometimes it's more like affordable, or I find ways to make it and incorporate it into my, you know, repertoire.
I've been told to buy, you know, the higher end belt, the higher end pair of shoes. I trash my shoes. Do I have to believe that?
Most definitely not. No, especially with that. You can find different variations in like way cheaper prices. You know, there are different places that we all go to find them.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real, like Zara, H&M, Amazon, all that stuff. Because if they're going to get trashed, what's the point? Just like with sunnies, you know, unless you like have sunnies that you always like keep, like just invest in good quality ones, but make sure you're aware not to leave them behind or trash them if you can.
What is that pristine object to you, that style piece for you that you just, you know, you bring it out for special occasions, you keep it so nice?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Funnily enough, you were talking about that sequin dress. Oh. I actually have a few of those, yes.
Oh, of course there are a few in Afi's closet.
Definitely. So I have a silver one that I love to bring around the holidays. It has a big bow in the middle, and it's kind of like almost like a flap dress in regards to like, it's just a little bit more like timeless in regards to like, it's very flattering for my figure. It's like a maxi dress, and whenever I go out, I just get the most compliments, and it just makes me feel like my true and best self.
Well, I want to steal some styling information out of you, squeeze some, and then we'll talk about how you built a business around this. How do we identify our body type, and how do we find those best things that flatter our figure?
Definitely. So honestly, it's all about just like everyone has a problem area. And I always recommend if you have a problem area, you want to try and like minimize like how it's going to look. So maybe just wearing something dark, or just like a little bit like more flattering for the figure. So it's all about just like a balance of the two, just highlighting your good things and then just kind of like covering up or hindering the bad ones that you're not proud about.
What about the men? Men have a different styling tip for them?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, men, I think that a lot of them are very like, they like to keep to one color or just like one tone. I think let's have fun with prints. That's the thing that they should do. But again, the same, just like darker in problem areas and then lighter in the others, but just to have fun with prints.
Well, I think in Arizona, we're such a golfing community, and all the golf clothes is wild these days.
Yes, and I love it.
So it's kind of like the gateway drug for people to start wearing more wacky and fun prints out there. So I do feel like you see some bolder clothing, at least in the last couple of years, when it comes to men styling. So how did you reach out and go out on your own? You said when you were reaching out during the pandemic, a lot of your clients said no, because it was a pandemic. We didn't know what to do. And here you are ready to style you and couture and high-end clothing. So how did you make that jump?
Sure. So honestly, it was just all about like research. You know, after like coming out of it, I just, like I said, I hit the ground running. I started, you know, continued on with the styling videos. And in fact, Instagram is the #1 way that I get clients, new clients, but just joining networking groups, just watching other people that I admire. I have a mentor who's been amazing, and she's really like helped get me to where I needed to go. And that was just to find a way to be on television, you know. Yeah.
So tell me more.
Yeah. So definitely. Yeah. Her name's Angela, Mom Style Lab. That's her name. She basically was styling for a network for quite some time, and I told her that an influencer had reached out and gave me an email address, and she basically was like, just go forward, just push it. So I got my first segment, and I've been doing it ever since. But you know, it's just emailing, you know, the producer, emailing the actual channel, and just basically pitching ideas. You know, you always want to come ready. Don't like just leave it to chance or just say, I'd like to be on television, but why? You need to show them the reason why, and therefore you just start and just continue on.
A lot of people don't think you could just email the station and pitch an idea. When you were told, just pitch them,
yes.
What did you think of that?
I was like, stop lying.
Yeah.
Definitely. I couldn't believe that it was almost that simple. Yeah. But I think that, again, I was prepared. I was told, go with an idea. Don't just like let everything go to chance.
Right.
So therefore, you know, you're just reaching out to clients, reaching out to contacts, and just being open and friendly, because it's such a small community, and you want to make sure you keep it professional, but also, you know, you're kind.
Yeah, you're building relationships.
Exactly.
You're building relationships right when you walk into the TV station. You're building relationships with those producers via email, and then you're building relationship with the viewers who come to enjoy watching your segments, and then going to your social media, and then has a big event coming up. And I want Afi to style me. So tell me, what kind of styling do you do? What kind of services do you offer?
Thank you. Yes, honestly, I offer like different packages on my website, afilikeTaffy.com, and it's just personal styling, whether you're looking for speaking engagements, you have like a brand photo shoot, or even like a lifestyle change. And I've styled clients for like different seasons. Like styled one for going to Paris for like a summer. So it just depends. It could just be like a one-off, or it can be a full-on 3 to 6 month packages. So I do all, but in the most luxury and the most fabulous way.
Ooh, and what should they expect when they spend the day with you, or how much time are they spending?
Definitely. Thank you. Well, expect me to give you a little bit of nudges because, you know, I just
You're
want
going to push a little.
Exactly. I'm going to push a little because I think color should be in everyone's closet. And I just try to make it fun and just as painless as possible, I think. And I save a lot of time for my clients because they're busy women and men and they need help. So I just eliminate it by putting clothes together. They just go in a room and they're always so amazed and flabbergasted by how many items I found. And I show them how to put the pieces together. I create lookbooks and I send it to them so they have it all ready for them to go.
Are we coming to you? Are we going to a department store? Where are we going?
Honestly, we are going to wherever you want to go, but we're making sure that we're meeting up so that we can get you styled. So I'm going to your home if you need to. You're coming to me at a store, or we're just meeting in between at my office in Scottsdale.
And I love that you have the lookbook. So this is the top Afi got me. Yeah. What does it go with? Oh, I can refer back and I have my notes
Yes, you do.
on how to properly dress myself today in the Afi style.
Yes, definitely.
And not only do you have the styling side of your business, but we see, you know, you've spoken about digital creation. So you are making money as an influencer and digital creator.
Yes,
How? Because folks want to know how that starts to happen.
Yes. Well, let me just tell you, it's been a while. It took me a while to do this. I've been doing this for probably about 7 years, digital creating. And within the first 5, it was a struggle, especially with the pandemic. And it's one of those things is consistency is key. You just have to show up, speak to your supporters, you know, your, the people who are watching you, because people are watching and you don't know that you are, you know, you're influencing people. And that's the thing. And just to be kind, be brave, and just be yourself. I think that's the main thing. And also, you know, because I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I have an autoimmune condition that is uncurable. So I actually work with a diabetic company that create my diabetic pump. They're called Tandem. And, you know, they're an amazing company. And they're the ones who were the instigator of like kicking off me getting paid really well.
So they reached out to you.
Yes.
They said, we'd like you, we know you have diabetes. We'd like you to promote our product.
Correct.
And then what did that look like as far as creation? You were like, how do I work this into how it goes with my belt, or what are you working with?
Funnily, thank you. So funnily enough, you know, they reached out to me first and I was so flabbergasted, and they asked me what I wanted to first of all get paid, and I gave them a very minimal sum, and they were so quick to say yes. So I reached out to a contact, like one of my members of like my networking group, and she was like, no, Afi, you need to go back and do your research properly. And I did, and you know, quadrupled it.
You asked again.
I asked again.
Which was brave.
Thank you.
What did you think when you had to, I don't know, make that phone call or send that email? Hey, just kidding about that first quote. XO Afi.
I was actually shaking.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. I just remember like sweating and just being like, oh, they could just be like, no, we don't want to work with you. She's indecisive.
Yeah.
But I explained to them why. And I just told them that, you know, this is literally my first big contract. And I just wanted to make sure, you know, I got the right things. And I broke down how much everything would be over the time. So, you know, I've signed this contract with them and it's been amazing since. So yeah, it was definitely a feat, but I'm so glad for it.
So that information is something that you can Google as far as how much for a post, how much for people who might be thinking, you know, I want to see if I'm making fair rates or whatever.
Most definitely, but also Google the company.
Oh.
So companies, some of them make way more than others. And also you have to know your worth. And I think that you always want to go above to ask for way more, and then you can meet in the middle as opposed to like going down and then keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your diabetes. When did you find out you had it? How is it going for managing your health?
Thank you. I just actually celebrated my diversary. So yes, it's 11 years. So diversary is what us diabetics call a diabetic anniversary.
Okay.
And usually it's a day that, you know, we were first diagnosed with our chronic condition. And it's usually a very sad day. And to be honest with you, the condition I have, because it's basically my pancreas has stopped working, it's actually very depressing. And when I was diagnosed, I actually went through suicidal thoughts, and I just had so many issues with dealing with the fact that, I was a diabetic, because I didn't even know what that was to begin with. And then the doctor explained it. And I just remember saying, but I work out. And they were like, no, this is autoimmune condition, as in you have it in your family. It's from like your ancestry.
Right.
And I just remember just like being very depressed again, and just going through therapy, and then just love, and then learning to become a diabetic. That's literally what like pushed me forward. But it was a long journey for me to like accepting who I was. And also now I just love to educate, inform, and inspire young girls and boys to know that it's okay. This is your life. This is what you have. You just make the best of it, and you just keep going.
What do you do to manage it?
I have a diabetic pump. I call her Shanae.
Oh, Shanae.
Yeah, and I have a...
And where does she live?
She lives like by my hip. Usually I have like I usually have like a garter belt that I keep her in.
Oh.
And then I have a G7 CGM, and the G7 CGM is actually on my thigh, and what it does, it checks my blood sugar every 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And she's called Shaniqua. Oh. So Shanae and Shaniqua, they
work in tandem.
Exactly, I know, right? So they're besties.
Yes, for sure.
Definitely.
Oh, wow. And it is a learning process.
Definitely.
But it is manageable.
Yes, it is.
And it is really important to you, as you said, with those dark thoughts, to let people know that this is something that you can live happily with.
Yes, happily and healthily with.
Yeah.
Definitely. And just to keep going, because they could be so, honestly, when I think about it, I think coming from a third world country, I've seen some horrible things. It's just part of life, though. You just have to keep moving and keep going, keep it moving. That's what I said. In diabetes, I work out, so that helps with my mental health. I've been through therapy. I have such a great support system, such a lovely husband. So it's just like all those things just add up. But I am doing the best I can. And also I want others like me to know that they can do this too.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think of, with social media? It all looks so pretty on the screen as we're flipping through, and how it kind of impacts people's psyche sometimes.
Oh, definitely. Because we're all showing our highlight reels. Yeah. But that's not reality. Yeah, and that's the thing I think about me is I'm so transparent. I've spoken about, suicidal thoughts. I've spoken about childhood, trauma, all the different things. My mother dying when I was young. I think that it's like a balance of the two. You can obviously highlight the good stuff, but there's also really bad stuff too. And I think it's important that we talk about it because so people know that they're not alone. And that's the thing I talk about constantly, of them not being alone, especially being a type 1. And having this condition I live with.
The highs and the lows.
Indeed.
And it seems like you have a very big social media friend group.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Yes.
How did that happen?
Honestly,
sliding the DMs with each other?
Sliding the DMs, yes. I've just been so fortunate. I've met so many amazing people. Everyone has been so supportive. And again, just being myself, I think that's really helped. I can't tell you how many times I meet people and they're like, you're exactly online as you are in person. And that to me gives me chills because I'm so happy for that, because unfortunately I have met people who are complete opposite of who they are in person. So, and
it's not me, is it?
No, it's definitely not. No, you're exactly the same. Yeah, you're exactly the same. Definitely not.
For better or worse.
I know. You wouldn't know because I would be so quiet. I'd be like, because that's the thing. My husband always knows when I'm quiet, there's something up. Yeah.
Amiss.
Exactly right. So,
something is amiss. Oh my. What did I want to ask you next? Oh, what's going on with Scottsdale?
Yes. So I've been actually product coordinating them. It'll be a year next month.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and basically what I do is I actually talk, predict the trends. I talk about what's happening in beauty, home, as well as fashion and styling. I put together different outfits, different looks, and then just show people where they can get the products from. And just, So preppy chic, actually, when you were talking about men's fashion, that's very trending for women and men. So, those polos, that's why they're so vibrant and so fun, because polos are very much trending.
So this podcast is going to be dropping in May. So let's steal some style tips from you.
Yes.
Going into the summer of 2024, what should we be wearing? What should we not be wearing?
Sure. So honestly, it's all about the soft hues of blue. Blues and greens are very much trending, the pastels, and neons are continually making a comeback. Of course, florals for spring, groundbreaking, like I said earlier.
Yes, groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
You don't say.
I know,
but
right?
they are so pretty, and they are so pretty in spring.
Definitely. I love, pastels and blooms. And then denim on denim. It's very much trending. Denim is back in a big way. We have lots of really fun prints and colors and just honestly celebrating life. And that's what it's about. And then we also have, the minimalist side where people are just doing solid colors and keeping it very simple and also just fun. Yeah.
So I have invested in a couple of just You talk about minimalistic.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to go out in the field, and sometimes very simple. I found has worked for me. So I bought a couple of just white T-shirts that fit real nice.
Yes.
Black, gray, and I have them. And I don't wear them too much in case I need to wear them on TV. And I can't tell you how much ease that has brought to me when I know I could just grab that shirt. It's almost new. I could throw it on, and it's good to go. So I think setting yourself up with your wardrobe is very helpful. The things that you feel good in, the things that you know fit your body, and it could be at any price range.
Definitely. And I love that you said that, those like shirts, because that to me is a wardrobe classic, like a wardrobe staple. I tell that to my clients. There's certain things you should have in your closet in general, just so that you can pull out,
Right.
you know, if you have to keep going or like run out the door. So I love that you have that.
And it's
so
a local
smart.
brand, by the way. It's Sportique.
Sporty.
Yeah,
Ooh, cute.
might as well shout them
Yes,
out.
I know. Yay.
So was there anything in Arizona that fashion-wise that you thought, oh my gosh, this is so Arizona. Why are they doing this?
Yes.
Yes,
I see a
there's
lot of cactus. Yeah. And it's so funny because I was actually in England and I bought a cactus dress and I worn it here. And that's probably one of the most things I get compliments about, because everyone loves the cactus. And I know it's the desert, it's Arizona, it's part of like the nature. I know you even have a painting.
yeah,
painting
we got a
behind you,
cactus.
yeah.
Sorry about that. So I have to stare at that.
No,
but
it's
we are
okay.
obsessed, aren't we?
I know. And it's okay. It's just funny because like that to me is like a cactus. And people always ask me where I got that dress from. I was like, it's from England. They're
I
like,
know.
what? Yeah,
They expect it to be a local place or from down the road, and there it is.
Indeed.
It's all the way from London, as you are.
Yes.
And you were mentioning you're so yourself on social media. So there are some words that I need some definitions of. Jubbly bubbly.
Lovely jubbly.
Oh, is that-
Yes, but I love it. Lovely jubbly, yes.
Okay, define it, please.
Yes, so my husband actually calls them Afiisms.
Ah.
Yes, and the funny enough, it's actually it's from a show in the 1990s in England called Only Fools and Horses.
Oh.
It's a very old show, but also it's British as well, and it's just like a comedy. And I just remember like one of the characters saying that, and it's always stuck with me. And I just love that, you know, it's just no one really knows what it is, but they say it too, like lovely jubbly, and it just basically means like, all right, love, or that's great, you know, or that's awesome, like you would say. So I say that's lovely jubbly.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But then I also feel like you're addressing us.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're being addressed like, hi, friends.
Exactly. It just depends on the context I say, because I can
Okay.
say, oi, oi, lovely jubbly, and that's hello, my love. Or you can say, oh, that's lovely jubbly good, and you're like, that's amazingly good.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm glad. What else do we need to know for our Afiisms?
Okay, yes. So I have golly gumdrops. Golly gumdrops.
Okay.
Yes. And that again is just like, oh gosh, yeah, or something like that, you know, or whatever word you use, to like an exclamation point.
Okay.
But yeah, that's usually like an exclamation point because something is happening.
Yes.
Like golly gumdrops. Look at that person.
I'm going to use that for breaking news next
you
time in
go.
the newsroom. See how the newsroom responds to that one.
I love it.
They
You
will
definitely
love it
should.
indeed.
Thank you.
So I like to ask people, what are you loving in AZ right now? What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you reading? What are you doing? What are you loving in Arizona right now?
So I'm loving the weather right now. I love that, you know, it's that transition before
Yeah.
it gets really, really hot. I love being outside. I love being outside and just enjoying the culture, lots of different festivals I've been going to, and just like networking groups as well. But honestly, I just love the vitamin D here, you know,
Yeah.
the sun shines all the time. And I feel like because of that, people are so much more friendlier, they're more happier. And it might be my British accent, but everyone's so nice.
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Yes,
they're definitely nice
They're
to you
so
because
nice. Oh, thank you.
they want to keep you talking. Keep her talking. We want to listen to it. It is beautiful, indeed. Does it feel weird to have been here for so long, for 15 years? I mean, this is home for you now, but then right away, where are you from? Is it weird? Is it annoying?
Do you know what? At first, it was. I still get shocked by it. To be honest, I still do.
Yeah.
Because I'm around people that I know most of the time. But
Right.
then I'll meet that someone that's like, "Oh my God, where are you from?" And I'm like, "Wait."
Why?
Yeah. I was like, "Why? I'm from here."
Yeah.
But yeah, so it can be annoying. I had a lady like continually emulate me. I just remember, So I would say hello, and she was like, "Hello," and I was like, "Are you okay?" She was like, "Are you okay?"
Oh, gosh.
So
uh-oh.
yeah, so that
So
was,
don't do that.
No, please don't. Yeah, definitely. But also, it's fun when people try to do my accent and they completely fail. And they're like, "How did I do it?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, it was really bad."
You're like, no.
No,
You're
yeah.
like, leave that to me.
Exactly. Cuba says no. Yeah.
Cheers, right?
Yeah.
And cheers means...
Cheers means thank you in British.
Thank you,
And
thank
cheerio means goodbye. So I say cheers and cheerio. Yes.
Well, Afi, that's perfect as we wrap up our podcast here. So, cheers And cheerio. Afi Like Taffy, thank you so much for being here. It's such a joy.
Cheers for having me, Jamie. And cheerio too.
And cheerio.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jsoretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Soretta and Instagram @Soretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jamie's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.